Good morning. Is the church a hospital? Is it a hospital? You ever hear the phrase that the church is a hospital, the place for people who are sick to come and get healed? Well, the way that hospitals work is they get their money from the government, they get their money from donations by philanthropists, and they get their money from their patients, obviously, and their patients' healthcare providers. And those are the three basic ways. I'm sure that they get them in other ways, but basically government funding, insurance providers and the patients, and donations by people who have the means to donate. So many churches operate in that same way. They get their money from wealthy philanthropists who want to give to charitable organizations. They get their money from members of the church who come and get help, and they get their money from the government through tax exempt status, and also by like grants. So the modern church gets their money from that as far as normally. But the Church of Jesus Christ is not a hospital. The Church of Jesus Christ is more like a military installation. The Church of Jesus Christ is not simply a hospital. On a military installation, you do have places, you do have hospitals on base. Maybe not on every base, and maybe not throughout all the nations do all the military installations have hospital bases. But the Church of Jesus Christ is a place for soldiers to get well. People who are a part of the kingdom of heaven. It's a place for them to come and get well. It's not a place for civilians or just whomever to come and get well and to give nothing back as far as service. If you hurt your arm and you go to the hospital, you're not required to do anything for the hospital. They don't say, okay, now go out and bring somebody else here who needs help. Obviously you would if they need help. You call the hospital when you want. I mean, some of us have never been to the hospital, but that's how it is for church. But you know that if you needed to go to the hospital, you would. And once you go, you don't plan on going back. And even if you do have a life where your visits to the hospital are frequent, the fact is you don't owe the hospital anything more than just a thank you for helping you. You're not dedicated to the doctors. You may or may not take their advice. Your goal is to stay healthy on your own and to come to this place only when needed. People treat the Church of Jesus Christ that way because many present the church that way. The church is not a hospital. The church is a military installation. It's a place where soldiers are trained to defend the weak and to advance the agenda of their government. The Church of Jesus Christ is a kingdom. It is not just a place where you can come and get what you want done. It's a place where you come and you become briefed. You are made aware of the agenda of the King. And yes, he heals you so that you're a more efficient soldier. And yes, you contribute to the efficiency of this organization, of this assembly, of this team. Absolutely. So yes, you can get healed, and Jesus Christ will deliver you when you attend church. His intention is to gather his people, though. That's the intention of Jesus. The intention of Jesus is not simply to bless you while you live however you want. His intention is to make you a man. It's to give you power. It's to give you authority over your world, so that your world doesn't crush you, so that your world doesn't ruin your life, so that your world doesn't deceive you and steal you from Him. So the Spirit of God invites us to the house of God so as to build an army. A lot of us are rejecting of that. A lot of us reject that. But Jesus let us know that He was assembling a church, a people who He would call out of the world, who He'd call away from rebellion, who He'd call away from lust, and who He'd teach the truth of the Father. So the Church of Jesus Christ is not simply a hospital. In the same way that your body is not simply designed with an immune system. You're not just an immune system. There's a muscular system, a skeletal system, a nervous system, a cardiovascular system. You've got various systems in your body, and together you have a body. Anytime ministries categorize themselves solely as a hospital, they confuse the people. They confuse the people that they're supposed to be assembling. So this is not solely a place where people get help. It's a place where they get trained to learn to help, to fulfill the call of God on their lives. And if they do not fulfill that call on their lives, then they're going to get into trouble with the Lord who heals them. God in Matthew chapter 11 said very clearly, He said, hey, those cities that I did most of my healings and miracles and great works in, that have yet to change, that have yet to commit to me, I'm going to destroy their cities. Their cities are going to come into great and severe judgment. And so the church is not just a place where people come to get better. The getting better is with purpose. So hopefully God leads you to a place where you can learn the mission of the God of creation, and you can empower people to know and to serve Him.